Ever dreamed of ditching the daily grind and living on the water? Just you, the wind, and a boat you can actually afford? Well, you're in the right place. These are the top 10 small sailboats you can truly live on. Boats that are proven, practical, and ready for real-life adventures. Let's get into it. The Flicker 20 is what you get when someone decides to build a little boat with a giant heart. At just 20 feet long, she's compact enough to sail solo and simple enough to maintain without breaking the bank. But inside that tiny hull, there's full standing headroom, a cozy galley, a proper head, and a sense of sturdiness that puts bigger boats to shame. This is a boat built for real sailing, not just dockside dreaming. With a full keel, heavy displacement, and solid fiberglass construction, the Flicker is famous for crossing oceans and keeping her crew safe through it all. She's not fast, but she's faithful. You'll find stories of sailors taking these around the world, slowly, steadily, and with a whole lot of love. Living aboard a Flicker means living simply. There's not a lot of space, so everything has to have a purpose. But if you're the kind of sailor who values self-reliance, charm, and the ability to sneak into anchorages the big boats can't reach, this little cruiser delivers big. She's the kind of boat that turns heads and starts conversations, especially when folks find out you live on her. And trust me, plenty of people do. The Island Packet 27 is like the cozy cottage of the small sailboat world. She's got a wide beam, full keel, and a hull that feels solid underfoot. Everything about her says comfort and stability. Step below, and you'll see why folks fall for this boat. Warm wood trim, a spacious salon, a well-laid-out galley, and a surprisingly roomy head. For a 27-footer, she punches well above her weight in livability. She's not a speed demon by any means, but that's not what she's about. This is a cruiser for folks who want to take their time, poke into shallow waters thanks to the shoal draft, and enjoy the journey. The boat feels like it was designed by someone who actually lived aboard. There's smart storage, good ventilation, and even a nav station that doesn't feel like an afterthought. Living aboard an Island Packet is peaceful. It's the kind of boat where you wake up to coffee on the stove, a good book in hand, and know where you have to be. For couples or solo sailors who want a rock-solid home afloat with classic charm, this boat checks a lot of boxes. She's a little slice of slow sailing heaven. The McGregor 26X is one of those boats that really splits the crowd. Some folks love it, some turn up their nose. But if you're looking for a light, trailerable sailboat that you can actually live on, this quirky little hybrid has a lot going for it. It's part sailboat, part motorboat, and that flexibility is what makes it unique. With a water ballast system and a swing keel, it's easy to trailer and launch. The cabin layout is surprisingly generous, offering sleeping space for 4, a small galley, a head, and a table for meals or working on the laptop. It's no palace, but it's got all the basics, especially for a solo sailor or a minimalist couple looking to cruise on a budget. What really sets the McGregor apart is that you can slap a big outboard on the back and motor at over 15 knots. That opens up inland routes, rivers, and tight weather windows where most sailboats would be stuck. For live-aboard life on the move, that's huge. If you want a do-it-all budget cruiser that sails decently, motors fast, and can be towed behind a pickup, the McGregor 26X is worth a serious look. The Catalina 30 is probably the most popular 30-foot sailboat in the world, and for good reason. She's roomy, comfortable, easy to handle, and there are thousands of them out there, which means parts, support, and upgrades are all within reach. For someone looking to live aboard without going broke, this boat is almost always near the top of the list. The interior is where the Catalina shines. Full galley, a proper dining area, a decent head, and actual privacy between berths, unusual in boats this size. You can live aboard a Catalina 30 without feeling like you're camping. And while she's not a blue water boat by design, plenty of folks have taken them far when well prepped. Under sail, she's steady and forgiving, with a spacious cockpit for entertaining or just stretching out with a cold drink at anchor. You can usually find one for a bargain. And they're often upgraded with newer diesel engines, roller furling, or solar setups by previous owners. For liveaboards wanting comfort, simplicity, and community. Because let's face it, there's a lot of Catalina folks out there. The Catalina 30 offers one of the best values afloat. It's the floating version of a dependable little starter home. The Cal 28 is a bit of a sleeper hit. It doesn't get the hype of some bigger brands, but those who've owned one know what they've got. A fast, well-built, surprisingly roomy little cruiser with real real pedigree. Designed in California, these boats were made to sail and live aboard, with quality glasswork, a reliable layout, and decent performance. What makes Le Cal shine for liveaboards is the interior. You get a cozy cabin with full sitting headroom, a proper galley, and a real marine head. Some models even offer wheel steering, and you'll often find upgrades like roller furling or dodgers installed over the years. She sails well, especially in lighter air, which makes her a joy on coastal runs or weekend getaways. But you can absolutely live aboard full-time if you don't mind simplicity. She's the kind of boat that feels safe, sails sweet, and doesn't ask for much in return. Best of all, you can usually find them for a bargain, especially if you don't mind giving up a bit of polish. For the right sailor, the Cal 28 is a humble, capable home on the water, fast enough to be fun and practical enough to live on. The Cape Dory 28 is like a warm cup of coffee on a foggy morning, comforting, steady, and a little bit old school. Designed by Carl Alberg, she's a full-keeled classic that moves with grace and dignity, not speed, and that's fine because what she offers in return is a rock-solid ride and a charming interior that feels like a wood-paneled cabin afloat. Below deck, you'll find a traditional layout, V-berth up front, a compact but workable galley, and a cozy salon. There's a head with decent privacy and just enough storage to make full-time cruising possible if you travel light. Her fit and finish are beautiful in that no-frills, seaman-like Cape Dory style. Living aboard a Cape Dory 28 is a bit like stepping back in time, in a good way. She teaches patience, rewards careful seamanship, and keeps you honest when it comes to planning passages. This isn't a boat for speed demons or those who want lots of gadgets. This is for the sailor who values simplicity, seaworthiness, and the romance of the traditional cruising life. A true little ship for those who aren't in a hurry, just in love with the journey. The Contessa 26 is the classic underdog of the small cruising world. A compact, seaworthy boat with a serious ocean crossing credentials. She's got a long keel, narrow beam, and a hull shape that can take a punch from Mother Nature and keep moving. This is the boat for dreamers who don't want to wait until they retire to go offshore. She's famously tough. Many have circled the globe in these, solo or with a partner, and that says something about both the boat and the people she attracts. She's small below, no doubt. The space is tight, but it's smartly used. A couple or solo sailor can live aboard with just enough room to cook, sleep, and navigate. You won't be hosting dinner parties, but you'll be crossing oceans. The Contessa doesn't care about speed records or comfort at the dock. She's all about getting you there safely, even when the weather turns nasty. And while she's not for everyone, tall folks might find her headroom lacking, there's a gritty charm to making a life aboard such a determined little boat. If you've got wanderlust and a tough streak, the Contessa 26 might be the boat that sets you free. The Aloha 28 is one of those Canadian-built gems that often flies under the radar but offers a whole lot of value for folks looking to live simply and sail comfortably. She's solidly built, handsome in a traditional way, and surprisingly roomy below deck. One of her best features is the layout. Instead of trying to cram in every possible berth, the Aloha keeps things smart and spacious. The galley stretches across the stern, freeing up space midships for a larger salon. There's a proper marine head with privacy, and the V-berth forward is generous for a boat under 30 feet. Teak and mahogany give the interior a warm, homey feel, even if it's a bit dark by today's standards. Sailing-wise, the Aloha isn't a speedster, but she's steady, forgiving, and handles coastal cruising beautifully. Roller furling is common on these boats, making them easier to manage solo. And since they're fairly common in North America, especially in the Great Lakes and on the coasts, they're often found at bargain prices. For a cozy, no-drama liveaboard experience with all the essentials and classic looks, the Aloha 28 holds her own nicely. The Dana 24 is a legend in the compact cruising world. Designed by Bill Crealock, she's often described as a big boat trapped in a small hull, and that's not far off. She's beautifully built with thick fiberglass, a long, full keel, and seaworthy lines that inspire confidence the second you step aboard. What's most surprising is the interior. For a 24-footer, there's standing headroom, a real galley, a private head, and a salon that doesn't feel cramped. There's even decent tankage for water and fuel, which is rare at this size. The layout is efficient, and everything has a proper place. Living aboard might be cozy, but it never feels chaotic. Out at sea, the Dana moves like a much larger boat, solid, predictable, and with that comforting, all's-well motion. She's not cheap, even on the used market, but that's because she's worth every penny. These boats hold their value and have a loyal fan base. If you want to go far, Go safe and go in style without jumping into something huge. The Dana 24 is about as close as you'll get to the perfect little liveaboard cruiser. The Alban Vega 27 might be one of the best kept secrets in the small boat cruising scene. Built in Sweden, these boats are known for being rugged, simple, and capable, traits that have earned them a loyal following and more than a few circumnavigations under their belt. She's a sloop-rigged, fin-keel cruiser with a reputation for holding together when things get rough. Below deck, you'll find a no-frills layout with a small galley, a decent-sized settee, and a V-berth that's surprisingly usable. It's not luxurious, but it's practical. And that's what matters when you're living aboard on a budget. What sets the Vega apart is its combination of toughness and affordability. You can still find them reasonably priced, often with good gear already installed by a previous owner who had big plans. And despite her vintage, the boat sails well. She's light on the helm, responsive, and forgiving, ideal for new cruisers and solo adventurers alike. For someone looking to keep things simple and seaworthy, the Alban Vega 27 offers just the right blend of comfort and capability. She's proof that you don't need a huge boat or a huge bank account to chase big dreams on the water. So there you have it, 10 small sailboats you can actually live on. Boats with heart, history, and just enough space to make a floating life not only possible, but pretty damn satisfying. Whether you're into rugged ocean crossers like the Contessa 26, charming little homes like the Flicka 20, or solid cruisers like the Catalina 30, there's something on this list for every kind of sailor with a dream and a little grit. The truth is, you don't need a 40-footer or a 6-figure budget to start living the life. What you do need is the right mindset, a willingness to downsize, and a boat that feels like home, even if it's only 24 feet long. If one of these boats caught your eye, let me know in the comments which one you'd sail away on. And if you've already taken the leap, I'd love to hear what you're living aboard now and what you've learned along the way. Until next time, stay salty, stay curious, and I'll see you out there where the water meets the wind. Cheers.